I spent some time in Gastonia, North Carolina, one of the most beautiful places that I've ever visited. And across the street from where my aunt used to live was this park. And you could look over, and in the evenings you would see hundreds of fireflies laying around. And I always thought it was a cool thing, bringing me back to when I was young, when I was a kid, and there was just such a thrill in running around and trying to chase those things. And seeing this day in and day out, it led me to think, 30 years later, about all the things that have changed in my life. Back then, life was pretty straightforward. As a child, you place your values on what feels right in the present. You're not thinking about 5 to 10 years down the road, or wondering about what others are going to think about your ideas. Your creativity and exploration are running on all cylinders. But then, something happens. We start to understand the way of things. We start to see what's valued in society. We see what's expected. We see how success is defined. And so we begin our ascent up the ladder. And then rung by rung we climb, looking above us and below us to see how fast everyone else is moving in relation to us. And eventually this coincides with how we see ourselves in life. And as you know, how you see yourself is usually the best indicator of what you'll become. Which is why when so many people aren't happy with their day-to-day life, that's a huge red flag. That's just breathing, that's not living. Folks have been climbing this ladder their entire lives and never stopped to ask if that's where they should be. Maybe the top of the community ladder is not what you wanted, but you never thought, you only acted. And if you don't think, if you don't ask yourself that question, you will climb and climb and you will climb until you eventually burn out. I try to spend a few minutes every day thinking about this. It's the most important thing I can spend time on. It's my life. It's more important than green paper. It's more important than the opinion of others. It's the backbone of everything. Everything around me and the meaning I give it stems from how I identify myself. It's who I am. Which brings me back to those fireflies. To running around on a hot summer evening, not having a care in the world, just chasing your dreams. There's just something intrinsically perfect about those moments. If you think about it, life is about peak experiences. It's about your joy, excitement, so that you never lose that spark, so that you stay engaged as an engaged leader, because that's all that separates us from every other being on the planet. And if we don't have that, what do we have? What separates us from ants moving dirt? Monotonous action based on instinct. There's just no thrill in that. Why not just create a life that allows you to feel that excitement every single day? Create a motivation board. Find your motivations. Find what motivates you daily, and then do it. Don't act because you're supposed to. Act because you so desperately want to that there's no other option. Because you couldn't live without the adventure. You couldn't pass upon the experience. Because here's a secret. If you become fixated on a life that means nothing to you, unfortunately at some point you will probably get to the top. And from there, you will have a beautiful view of everything that you ended up missing out on in life. So if you're going to make your mark, go for it. Be passionate about it. Go after your dreams tenaciously, wholeheartedly, but have fun doing it. So maybe there's something to the whole chasing fireflies routine. Maybe a 5-year-old running around a glowing bug with a jar deserves more credit